A'udzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we'll discuss again. We'll come to issues in language teaching and learning, and today's topic is about issues in teaching, listening, speaking. I think there are many issues in teaching, learning, speaking related to the problem in teaching, learning, speaking, including cognitive load and so on. So let us talk about the problem in teaching, speaking. What are the problem? What are the issues one by one? Issues teaching, listening can have like linguistic challenges and so on. And the first issues is about linguistic challenge. Linguistic challenge. There are 4 problems commonly happen. The first one is speed of speech. When you teach listening, usually the speed of the speech of the native speaker or the material in the listening is too fast. And this one can be a problem for your student. So better for you to be able to identify and justify about this to provide appropriate learner. The second one is accent and dialect. To some degree, when you teach listening, you have to have the standard one, although the standard one you have to refer to which one that you like to choose, whether it is British English or American English, because if you do not really pay attention to this one, it can create a problem. I give you example, for instance, the dialect or the accent of Australian will be very different from American. American will say if you like to have sail, and Australian will say sail. So this is the accent and dialects very different. That's why you have to be cautious in teaching listening. And then connected speech. Connected speech is you are connected. If you like to say, I want to, then some people, some native speakers say, I wanna. So that's why you have to pay attention in this case. And again, after that, vocabulary. The more vocabulary you have, the better for you to understand. You will be able to teach the student better, and the student also will be able to listen better in listening. So please increase your student vocabulary in order to have a better listening skill. The next issue is cognitive load. It refers to the memory. Listening requires the ability to process and retain information in real time. Learners often struggle to remember the content of conversation and so on. And that's why this is very important about memory retention. If they are not able to memorize something, then it will be a problem. So try to ask your student in order to pay attention. By doing so, then the student will be able to have a better memory retention. And focus and attention. If the student are able to focus, then for sure they will be able to listen better. Otherwise, they will not be able to listen better. That's why in teaching listening, ask them of your student to be able to focus, to pay attention to the conversation or to the listening material attentively. And after that, processing time. In the processing time, for sure, the student listening time is something, then they have to process the information. And the processing time, the student will be very different from one to another. That's why the one who are proficient usually have a very fast processing time, while the slow learners, they have longer processing time. Then you have to understand about this in teaching listening. The next one, I think there will be psychological factors. In teaching listening, you have to be able to identify the student problem about listening anxiety and lack of confidence. If they are anxious to listen something, for sure, then please try to solve this problem first. Or they lack of confidence in listening to listening material, then try to encourage them, motivate them by providing reliable and suitable material. The next one, I think the issue is related to the pedagogical thing. Sometimes the teacher themselves need to improve their proficiency. Improficient teacher, teacher who is not proficient, for sure it will be able to distract the student learning. So the student themselves, the teachers themselves should be proficient when they would like to teach listening skill. And again, about the lack of confidence. It is both refers to the teacher, also the student. If the student do not have confidence in listening the thing, for sure it will be a sort of problem. And the second one is classroom environment. When you are teaching and the classroom environment is not conducive, this will be hampering, it will hamper the process for learning. So it's about the environment, about the lighting, about the weather, it is too hot, it is too cool, something like that. So you have to pay attention, and this will include to the pedagogical thing that you have to refer to. Another problem, another issues is related to the technological and resource related issues. It will related to the access to authentic material. If you are having authentic material, for sure you will be able to expose your student, so your student have a good exposure, and they will be able to see, to use, to practice using authentic material, in which it will lead your student to be able to use English authentically. And then the second issue is related to the quality of audio equipment. If you teach your student and your audio equipment, your tool, the audio, the speaker, and so on, this problem, it will be a problem. So we have to prepare this one. And another thing is teacher training on technology integration. To some degree, teacher in Indonesia case, I think there are many complaint about the low level of mastery of older generation teacher in using technology. While now I think in almost everywhere, technology really help the learner on teacher in order to provide the teaching learning process better. And failing in this part, for sure it will hamper. So if you are belong to the digital native or and others, and you are good in technology integration, please make sure that your peer also having the kind of thing, you can share to them, so it will help. Another issues is about the assessment issues. Assessment issues related to the listening test. Sometimes the test itself is too difficult and so on. The test is not really testing the material, and this is the listening test can be a problem. And then for all focus on product over process. Sometimes teacher do not really pay attention the process that student. It might that the student improve their speaking, their listening skill in the process. Let's say, for instance, one start from 0, another start from 7. It will be very 7 then improve to 8, and it will be very different from 0 improve to 7. The improvement is 7, however, still limited. And if you should just pay attention to the result on 7 or 8, I think this is not really fair. You have to also to pay attention to the process in processing learning from 1 to 7, and there's an increase of 7 points, while in 7 to 8 just 1 point. So you have to pay attention to this. So please, this is assessment issues. You have to be cautious. Next one is related to the curriculum design. Sometimes the curriculum don't really provide the listening in ample time, so they have a limited listening practice and lack of integration with speaking, because listening is integrated with speaking. Whenever you listen, then usually it's also produced in a conversation. You will listen to your counterpart, and then after that you will be able to respond appropriately. So listening should be integrated to the speaking. If you fail to integrate this one in a session, I think this also will be an issue. If it is having curriculum, you are curriculum designer, then you have to pay attention to this. And then offer emphasis on written transcript. Transcript, I think transcript is very important, but in listening, don't really pay much attention to transcript. Try to build the original and authentic understanding ability to noticing the transcript in learning the listening. You listen and try to understand, not really focus on the written transcript. I think that's good. This is the issues on listening. The last one is environmental factor. If you teach listening, you have to pay attention to the background noise. Whether you are teaching in what kind of condition, it's better to be suitable, the peace one, so no distractor. If you have, there's no background noise, whether it is in the tool or in the environment, that will be good. And then, inconsistent listening environment, this will be distracting for your student. If it is not consistent listening environment, sometimes good, sometimes bad, another time very bad. This is inconsistent. If it's not consistent, for sure, it will distract your student. So please provide good environment with good background of noise and consistent listening environment. So this is the thing that you have to pay attention if you like to teach English listening skill. Yeah, I think we have discussed about the issues and so on. I think that's all what we are talking about the issues and in teaching listening. There are many, and you can also refer back to the very beginning. I think this is very general, and we can discuss about the detailed one. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.